and happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in and for choosing to spend some of your time with me. I'm Maria Milagros. This is Wisdom Wednesday, a little space in the world where we carve out a little bit of time to share some nuggets, some stories, some anecdotes, some tips and tools that are going to be able to, if implemented, if they resonate with you, if they feel good to you, right? That when we implement them on a consistent and regular basis, or when we take that advice and really grow in our own self-awareness, should help us get to new levels of healthy and happy, with the remembrance that healthy and happy is not a destination, it's the actual journey. It's not like we get to a healthy place and then we're like, whew, I'm healthy now, gonna stick to those burgers and deep fried everything. No, that's not how that works, right? It's a journey. It's the consistency, the time, the stamina, the work that goes into it. During the month of February, happy Black History Month, by the way. And let's just be clear that Black history is, in fact, American history and something that should be celebrated on a consistent and continuous basis, not just 1 month out of the year. But for those people who this is new, right, this kind of work is new, or this expansion is new, or diversity is new, it's a great jumping off point. So it's a good opportunity for you to spend some time educating yourself and diversifying your life, because it's magic. Okay. During the month of February, being that it is the month of love, we're going to focus on love in relationships. And we're going to talk about different components of relationships and what is healthy versus what is not, some tips and some tools that I'm going to share with you during the course of the month as well. For this particular month, I just want to focus on the idea of healthy relationships and what that means, so that you have a gauge for yourself when it comes to your friendships, your intimate relationships, your partnerships, your family relationships, right? So let me just start here. Relationships, being in a relationship with someone should not be, you complete me. You know that whole Jerry Maguire? I mean, it's cute, it's poetic, it's nice to say like, you complete me, but that's not real. No one can complete you, because no one can sustainably, for a long period of time, be your source of joy and happiness. It's not fair, first of all, to ask someone else to be that. And two, it's not sustainable or realistic. So first and foremost, we have to put that in our minds. I have met women who said, I had my child so that I could have someone who loves me forever and always. What? Like, I understand where you were and how you were hurting, but that puts a lot of pressure on that kid to be there for you 100% of the time when they're a whole separate human and have their own lives to live, right? Like, they should be exploring the world and seeing the world and doing their own thing, and you should be supporting that rather than saying you need to always be here and putting this guilt trip on them, right? So thinking about, again, what's healthy and what's not. When we are in a relationship, it should not be you complete me, whether it's a partner, a friend, or a child. It should be, I accept myself fully, and the expectation is that you accept me completely. Not you complete me, you accept me completely. Because we have a tendency to forget that humans are these very complex, amazing, multifaceted, multi-passionate, multi beings. And we want people to fit in this little box and be like this. And then when they are, we feel better. And when they're not, we're like, oh, woe to me. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Those are complex humans who also have all of their own stuff. So when we're in relationships, first and foremost, if you've been following me at all, you know that I'm going to talk about again and again and again, the importance of doing the work here first, so that when you give, you're giving from a healthier place. If your expectation is that someone fits a box, gross, then you should really be reconsidering, like, do I make myself fit into a box because I'm trying to make someone else feel good? And so my expectation is that other people should do the same for me, right? Like, that's really what this work is about when we're thinking about and in relationships. Relationships are, one, really important and necessary. They're a big part of what makes life so magical. And they also offer us opportunities to grow. Like, they challenge us to be better versions of ourselves, whatever that means at that moment. They challenge us to really look at some parts of our lives that we need help or need assistance, or we could use a little bit of therapy or work, right? And unpack some of that stuff. Relationships provide us with these incredible opportunities to step into the next level of whoever we're meant to be, right? They really do, unless they're unhealthy. So unhealthy relationships will say, you have to sacrifice your happiness for me. You shouldn't hang out with your friends. You shouldn't hang out with your family. You should always answer the phone whenever I call. You should, make yourself small so that I can feel like I'm big enough. You should minimize your dreams. You should, make those compromises to your core values, your priorities, and your dignity for me. And again, I'm talking about all the relationships, because I have worked with clients that this is the dynamic with their children. This is the dynamic with their partner or spouse. This is the dynamic with some of their friendships. Those are unhealthy, right? So this week, it provides us with an opportunity to root ourselves in love. Last month, if you followed, we just focused on self-love, self-care, taking care of ourselves, rooting ourselves in love, and then looking at our relationships through the lens of love. And then saying, does this align with love? Is this healthy? Is this helping me grow? Is this supportive? Is this, right? And then conversely, am I healthy for that person? Am I supportive? Am I helping them grow and challenging them to get to the next level of their higher self, right? That's what relationships should be about. So it's an opportunity for us to not just assess the other person in the relationship dynamic, but more importantly, ourselves, right? Am I surrendering my core values and my dreams and the things that I think are important for this other person because I believe that will make them happy? And the reality is that it might temporarily, but you're miserable, and you're also teaching them that this is what you deserve and are worthy of. You're kind of reinforcing that idea, right? So some things to think about. I know it's kind of heavy, and you're like, it's February, it should be light and easy, but love is a verb. It requires action, right? It requires us to be aware, to pay attention. And then once we have this new knowledge, this new awareness, we can make those shifts where we need to. Now, that doesn't mean that you look at a relationship and you go, this does not check all those boxes, I'm out. I mean, it could, right? You have to decide what's best for you, and you have to follow your piece. It could also mean I'm willing to invest. I'm willing to put in some time here. I'm willing to have hard conversations. I'm willing to up my game and decide that I deserve better, and let's see who matches me, right? I remember a couple of years ago, TD Jakes said, when you grow and when you expand and when you become a different person and you step into the next levels of yourself, you don't have to worry about your friends leaving you. I mean, you don't have to worry about you leaving your friends. People who don't match support that, they're going to leave. And it was so true. I was like, oh, I turn on my light and I step into my brilliance and y'all go running. Okay, then y'all not my people. And that's okay, right? And that's the truth. That's okay. And then the beauty is we make room. We attract what we are, not what we want. So when we step up our love game, when we step up our levels of healthy and happy, when we step up our standards, the people that we attract into our lives either have to match that or they walk away. And then we make room and we start to attract people who are healthier, people who are more aligned, people who want to be in relationships that are real and honest and that help each other grow and that celebrate each other's successes and that bring joy into each other's lives. I mean, that is magic. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to spend this week thinking about, looking at our relationships, our dynamics, even having the conversations. If you are in a healthy relationship, you should have room and you should be making room to have hard conversations, right? So you want to make sure that you're spending some time thinking about it. Maybe you have the conversations, maybe you don't. You know what's best for you. Just giving yourself that little bit of room. And then the next 3 weeks, we're going to talk about some different tips and tools that we can use to, again, continue to enhance ourselves and how that spills into our relationships. That's all I have for you today. I hope this was beneficial. If you know someone who can benefit from this, please share it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. You'll get one of these videos and the notifications every week. You can head over to my website, mariamilagros.net, and at the top purple toolbar, you can sign up for my weekly email, which includes these videos and then other information about services that I offer or free things that are coming up or journeys that we're taking or whatever. So give it the thumbs up if you like it. Give it the thumbs down if you don't. Put in the comments below what you think about this video and if there's one thing that sticks out and resonates with you. And I'll see you next week. I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. Mwah! Peace!